Coming up in this special edition Brightline construction update. This special Brightline construction update looks at the start of the installation of the Cocoa Tunnel. The Cocoa Tunnel is located at the interchange between State Road 528 and US 1 in Cocoa, Florida, and is where Brightline's line to Orlando will separate from the existing Florida East Coast Railway main line. We will start on what I call Day 0, which was the afternoon of Sunday, March 14th. Crews were scheduled to arrive in a few hours to begin the associated road closures and to begin the installation process, so this is the last look with everything staged and ready to go. For new viewers, this tunnel is being installed using an innovative method called box jacking, which uses hydraulic jacks to move prefabricated tunnel segments into place. This method can do in 2 weeks what would have taken a year to complete using traditional methods. It is hard to tell with the shadow, but the jacks that will start pushing the first segment are in place here. Another significant change since my last visit was the removal of the embankment between the first segment and the eastbound lanes of State Road 528. This large cube of dirt provides a solid, heavy mass for the jacks to push against as the segments move forward into place. A smaller pile can be seen on the left of segment 3, but since only one segment at a time is being moved laterally and for a shorter distance, it was able to be smaller. All of the blue rods and beams you can see staged in piles around the construction site are what will be used in conjunction with the jacks to move the segments. Moving on to the progress from Day 1, which was filmed about 20 hours after construction began. A lot of major changes happened in that first day. The most noticeable difference was that the normal eastbound lanes of State Road 528 are missing and a large trench is in their place. The description that was given for this installation was a bit misleading, with the focus that it would be installed under the existing lanes of traffic. Now it appears the plan is to push the first segment into this trench, where they will then cover it back up and get traffic moved onto newly paved lanes. Once traffic is moved onto the new lanes, they will likely remove the normal westbound lanes to dig another trench to finish pushing the segments through. As things currently stand, there's one lane of traffic in each direction using the normal westbound lanes. Over the course of this first day, the first segment was moved forward about 3/4 of the distance necessary to clear the front of segment 2. They were continuing to push while I was flying, but the slow rate at which it moves means that there is not enough visible movement to notice in this video. Looking down, you can see the complex network of the metal rods and beams that are being used to push the segments. The jacks themselves are mounted on the edge of the tunnel segment. The normal eastbound lanes of traffic that have been closed are currently being used as staging for dump trucks and equipment as they dig the trench. Moving on to day 2, March 16th, Florida East Coast Railway northbound train 202 happened to pass the worksite as I was taken off. Over the course of day 2, the first tunnel segment had been moved far enough forward to clear the front of segment 2. The trench was extended almost to the edge of the westbound lanes that are currently carrying traffic. During this flight, crews were removing the rods and beams used to move segment 1 so that the lateral move of segment 2 could begin. Here the crane is moving into position to remove the next piece. While the crews were hooking the next pieces to the crane, here's a look at the extended trench and the overall curve. With the rods hooked up, the crane began lifting them out to place on top of the large dirt pile, which seems to be one of the staging locations for them. Moving on to day 3, March 17th, and crews had made quick progress getting segment 2 moved into position behind segment 1. Notice that there is a slight gap between the two segments. This was to make sure the segments did not collide during the movement, and is also likely needed so crews can apply a waterproofing seal between the two when they are combined. They had already started to remove the rods that had been used to move segment 2 laterally away from segment 3. The work site overall is very active with workers and deliveries arriving and leaving regularly. Brightline reports that there are on average 40 workers at the site at any time, working shifts 24 hours a day until the installation is complete. Here's a look down into the site from the other side. There had been minimal progress on the trench in the last 24 hours. As the rods are removed from the lateral movement, they are being staged for the next push forward. Getting lucky with another train during this flight, here's FEC Local 916 headed south to work the Cocoa Rockledge Yard. That will wrap up this first video documenting the progress across the first few days of the installation. Be sure to check my social media pages for daily images of the progress until my next update. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.